Okay, welcome back to another episode of Your True Sons, brought to you by the Players Lounge. I'm one of your hosts, Kevin Rutland, also here with Jeremy Maclin, Sean Weatherspoon. We're about to cover our Saturday night game versus Auburn, which we kind of got by skin of our teeth kind of thing. I mean, it's a roller coaster, but you feel a bit better when you win, right? So I want to start with the defense because I feel like the defense made some plays throughout that game and late in that game that basically sealed the game. So Spoon, initial reactions, thoughts about our defense. I know you went to the game, so you got to see it up close and personal versus Auburn. What do you think about our defense, Spoon?
Man, I think we're a resilient group. It's great to be back on True Sons with you guys, like it always is on the weekend. And going down to Auburn, it was great to go out there and watch us get a win on the road in a place that really, knows how to.
Questions?
All right, Spoon, look, you went to the game. You saw it up close and personal. Let's start with the defense. What did you see that you enjoyed, that you liked, that was great? We ended up finishing the game off defensively. How did the defense look in person, man? What were some of the best things you saw? Where can we improve? Talk about the defense versus Auburn, man.
Man, I thought we were a resilient group out there this weekend, just getting out of the car, walking to the actual stadium, man, it was quite fun to see what Auburn's all about. Never been there. It's my first time at Jordan-Hare Stadium. And a good job of presenting an environment where you can go out and feel like, hey, this is a great place. Let's go out here and get done what we need to get done. And granted, we have no bearing on the game, but the Tiger fans from Missouri were in the building, and we were super excited to cheer our guys on. We got a chance to see a bald eagle. We got a chance to see the war eagle. And you got to know the story a little bit about what's going on. So apparently there was this guy who was one of the best pilots, in the military. And he had an eagle. His eagle couldn't fly, but it was his pet eagle, and he brought it to a game or something like that. Year after year, he would bring this. Auburn would celebrate him. He'd actually bring the war eagle to the game. And one game, that eagle just took flight and inspired the comeback. I don't know if that's after their 12 undefeated seasons or their 9 national championships. I don't know if that's some folklore there, but it was a great environment, and it was a great opportunity for us to go out and do what we need to do. And watching the defense, they bounced back. We started off on that first drive not playing the kind of ball you want to play. The quarterback did a great job of extending some plays and, making it a little bit tough on us. And, they came down and they punched it down our throat. And that's something that you're either gonna barbecue or you're gonna mildew.
Yeah.
And I think the Tigers from Columbia decided to go ahead and barbecue. So they got the Komodo, up, the green egg, whatever you want to call it, the black grill Mac got at the crib. They got that thing right, and they came back and they played some great ball. But if we eliminate the chunk plays, we dominate the game, man. Even the runs that they had were big, explosive runs. The passes that they had were big, explosive passes. It was not a methodical way for Auburn to move the ball. So I think, you got to look at that and get better this next game, because obviously we know we have a Heisman candidate type quarterback that leads the offense in a way that a lot of people cannot lead their offense. So it's a big win, but a big opportunity coming up this week as well.
Spoon, I'm going to come back to the chunk plays as soon as we talk about the offense. I got to get back to that when we talk about the game in totality, playing complementary football. But J-Mac, give me some initial thoughts on the game and the offense, because we might spend a little bit more time here, I'm guessing, tonight. What did you think about what you saw? First off, give me your initial reaction to the win, how the game went, and then we'll talk about offense.
When I was watching it live, I think offensively I was a little frustrated. It just seemed like everything just was so hard. Like the yards on the ground was so hard. I felt like the yards through the air was so hard. So I was frustrated because I'm like, it shouldn't be this hard, right? We're the better team. We got a better roster. And then I just kind of started looking around, man. And, really, to go into any SEC stadium, man, it's tough to win. You look at what Texas, had to do down there in Kentucky. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's tough, man. So you appreciate the win, and we made enough plays on offense to win the game. And I think that's a positive, right? That being said, you want to talk about the stats or kind of the eye test, we committed to the run. We just didn't run the ball very well. And I think some of that is because, we couldn't pass the ball like enough consistently for them to say, you know what, let's lighten up the box a little bit, or let's not expect run. Because you can even tell, like, even some of the stunts they were running, that was all to stop the run. It wasn't even they weren't trying to get to the passer. They were trying to stop the run with some of that stuff. So I think that's a little bit alarming.
Yeah.
But I think at this point in the season, right, I think we kind of know who we are, like you kind of said last week, Kev. It's just all about, can we make enough plays? Can we put the guys in position enough times to be successful? And we did Saturday. So, like I said, that is a positive. And on top of that, man, they're 3-4, but that's a good football team. We talked about it last week with a veteran quarterback who has a lot of swag, who plays with a chip on his shoulder. So I'm happy we got the win. And that was one of those games, and that's why I think that's why Drink was so happy right after the game, right? Because he knows how hard it is to win in that league, especially on the road.
Yeah. So there's a piece of me that really, really wants to agree with what you said. It is hard to win in the SEC, and you can't go against that. But I still kind of lean on: is there a certain way to win certain games? We can all agree Auburn is a lot better than their record shows. But I watched that game and I was uncomfortable the entire time. And maybe that's just how it goes with the close game, right? But I'm not sure if I would have been just as uncomfortable if we would have won that game 42-35. Because now I know, okay, we can score. But I'm watching that game, I'm like, I don't know if we can score, right? The defense shows up and shows out kind of consistently, but I'm just not sure if we're playing from behind. I'm nervous the entire time. I'm on the edge of my seat and I'm just watching. And I'm like, we'll see. Possession after possession that doesn't go our way, I'm watching, and that makes me nervous.
I think when you think of the landscape of college football, and we just saw two heavyweights go at it, right, in Georgia and Ole Miss, and they were scoring back to back to back to back, and it came down to Georgia got 2 stops, Ole Miss didn't, right, and Ole Miss, Georgia wins the game. So like, I think you see a game like that, and you're like, dang. I would like to score the ball like that because we know we can get stops at some point. You know what I mean? Because we got the defense to prove it. That's proven it. So I understand what you're saying there. I think it's a little less uncomfortable if you win a shootout because what we've been asking to see, right? You see it when you win a shootout. You know what I mean? So I do. I'm with you on that. I do agree with you on that.
Okay, wait. Now let me go back to Spoon, who kind of discusses the defense and knows that, hey, we can make stops, but Spoon, what type of game as a defensive guy do you want to see, like from a spectator standpoint, you know what I mean, that makes you feel comfortable watching a team that you're rooting for?
Well, I think the type of close games that we've seen this year, we've seen our defense go out, and when they're called upon to close out the game, they've done it. I think our shootouts are going to look a little bit different with the way we play offense, right? We really want to run the ball. We really want to establish the run and control the clock and, beat you that way. I don't think we really want to, say we're going to shoot you at close range. Let's say that's the kind of that's the way we want to go about it. So I think when you have a defense that is as good as our defense, you don't have to press on offense. I think everything that we asked for last week, they gave it to us this week, except for passing the ball late in the game for some odd reason when we can just kick field goals. We took the shots to the guys. They intercepted it. I'm just being honest. We were like, man,
No, it's a great point.
They intercepted it. So go ahead, Mac. I'm sorry.
I'm about to say one of them was an out route though. You just can't be late, right? Like,
yeah.
I just like
one-on-one.
No, but J-Mac,
wait, versus your guy. But
right. That's what he's talking about.
Come down with it, right? And that was tough. But I think when you have a defense that is fundamentally sound, that they bend but don't break, that they can get after the quarterback on passing downs. I think that's the type of defense that you kind of rely on, because being there with with our fans, we like, well, just everybody's kind of worried about the offense, but it's really we're worried about play calling more so than what our offense is actually doing. And we were banking on our defense to do what they've continued to do. I think they just had a couple drives where they gave up, something big that could kind of lead into, giving them some momentum. Ultimately, man, you feel really good about the way our team plays defense, and you're just kind of waiting on the offense to hit its groove. And at some point in that game, I thought we're going to win this game with 29. At some point, we're going to win this game with 29. But it looked crazy because 9 actually won the ball game by giving guys a chance, as well as, being really good with his feet when we need him. I think he had the longest play of the game with his feet. He ran for 30 yards on one. And then just seeing him in overtime, being able to punch it in, I think that was big. But if you just play fundamentally sound on defense, you do the right things. Even when you give up a big play, you don't get down. You bend but don't break. I think you'll be fine. It's just when the competition rises up, because I mean, when I look at Auburn, they pay for their roster too. But as we go
Yeah.
on, there'll be better teams. There'll be better, better
Yes.
units. And I think that's
Yes.
the defense will be challenged the most. But still, I mean, I will put money on our defense to go out and get it done, even after going through adversity. Even some people say they miss field goals. I think our defense forced missed field goals, even though but we forced it. So like just our mentality on defense is something that our team can take. And if you stay in the game, so you don't get too flustered on the road, to go down there and even up the series 3-3, because we haven't played Auburn. I think we played them in the 70s. And then obviously we joined the SEC and, they had a 3-game winning streak and now we got 2 in a row. And I wore my jacket the same, both times. So if I keep my jacket and the defense do what they do, we're going to be good. We're going to be good, man. But it's fun to watch us play. I don't care if it's at our stadium, it's on the road. It's fun to watch the defense play, and it's always good to know that you got energy coming off the edge so you don't have to dedicate a lot of people to going to somebody on the ground. And I know that quarterback isn't a great, Arnold isn't a great passing quarterback, but he threw some good balls, timely, and, he runs their situation pretty good over there. So I'm just proud of it. So that type of defense is the type of defense I'll hang my hat on.
So great point. I think something else you said that kind of stood out to me, and I kind of want to know y'all's perspective on how you guys watch Mizzou football and compared to how you might watch another team play. You said that you can kind of hang your hat on the defense and know that we can make some stops, right? But when I'm watching Mizzou football, I'm not just watching the current game. I'm watching that game thinking about, does that fly versus Ole Miss? Does that work versus Oklahoma, Andy, A&M, who we still have on the schedule? I'm like, all right, A&M just put up 40-something points in the last game. Oklahoma not really scoring as much. Vanderbilt has kind of been proven to be hard to stop. I'm like, well, the deep ball seems to be our issue defending. Do these other teams take those shots and do they complete that? And then now I'm also watching from the offensive side. I'm saying these teams are giving out a playbook on how to slow us down offensively. And that makes me nervous. So like J-Mac, when you're watching it, obviously, from here on out, every team is going to crowd the box and say, give me your best shot. Try to beat me with your arm. Try to. That's where the apprehension comes in for me. Mm-hmm. What does a offense do when you know what tape you've put out there? What do you do? How do you change it?
I think first of all, I think football is a copycat. Football's a copycat league, right? Like you see something that works, right, and it has some success against one of your opponents, you try to sprinkle it into your playbook in some way, shape, form, or fashion, right? You may dress it up as a different formation with a motion, get to the same spot, whatever the case may be. But
okay,
you try to copy exactly what it is, that you've seen the other team have success with. So yeah, of course, we know what we're gonna get. Hey, we're not gonna let 29 beat us. To me, right? To me, in all of our games, when you look at Auburn, Bama, South Carolina, and I'm gonna throw Kansas in there. To me, we played our worst offensive game this past weekend, okay, and still won
on the road.
On the road. So that is the positives that I'm finding out of a situation where you average just over 2 yards a carry and only 6 yards a pass attempt while throwing 2 picks, and you still win. So yeah, are we gonna play better offenses? Yes, but we might have played the best offense on our schedule already. We'll see. Texas A&M is putting up points.
Yeah,
we'll see. So you can say yeah, I watched the game and I'm thinking about all these other teams, but you and I both know if football worked like that, then all of a sudden, okay, if we lost to Alabama by 3, Vandy lost to Alabama by 14, then we should go down and beat Vandy by 11. We know football doesn't work like that, right? So it's all about matchups, man. It's all about taking, learning from the film. You go there, you get in the film, okay, hey, it could have been a bad step here on a power that the offensive lineman can clean up this week. Now we can spring 26, get him to the next level. It could have been a receiver running his route at 15 and not 14. It's just a whole bunch of little things like that. So I think everybody understands who we are, right? We want to run the ball, and right now I would say our weakness, right, is I'm not even going to say it's passing the ball on obvious passing situations.
Oh,
we struggle right now in that piece of it. And when we can dictate the down and distance and we can dictate the flow of the game, they do a good job of getting the ball to the tight ends, getting the ball to Coleman, on your drag routes or your swipe behind the line of scrimmages or we could do a good job in doing that.
So it's the 3rd and 8 and longer.
It's the 3rd and 8 or being down. or
that's
being
what goes
down,
along with
right?
that 3rd and 8. Like Mac talks about those gotta have it passing situations when you're
Yeah.
looking uphill. Only
Yes.
Okay.
Kansas where we're looking like, whoa, like a mountain. Everything else,
Yes.
when we were able to run the ball, even against Kansas, just things that happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you're able to run the ball, you can stick with the plan. But when you're not able to run the ball and you got to pass it and you're down 2 scores, that's where I think Missouri will really be challenged. And
Yeah.
we'll really find out, like, okay. But, I mean, the way we play defense, I mean, hey, we kind of know, like, hey, we can't put a – we understand – they watching the game too.
Yeah.
We ain't going to let our offense get in this situation. And we can control that because we get an opportunity to go out even after they're 3 and out, even after there are multiple interceptions on the road, even after the missed kick. You know, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just building us, man, and we're going to continue to grow into the team that we want to be. But it continue, like Max said, getting better, not just saying like, all right, we slid by, let's not address it. Let's continue to address it during the win. It's easier to move on from it, but you still got to have that, man. We can do better, man. And you see the passion that Drink has, and I know he was at Auburn at one point, and that's a place that's special to him, and he's been in Alabama quite a bit. I know that he senses that this is important. Everybody needs to know it, and it's coming from the head. And so I'm pretty excited about what we're going to do, man. This is going to be a good one coming up.
I'm giving a pause. Hold on. All right, look, I hear you, Spoon. And maybe I'm just a natural, like, skeptic. Don't sleep well. You know what I mean? But I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying, TJ Mack. It's an SEC opponent, and it's an away game. You have a lot going on. I understand those things. And then you mentioned you watch Ole Miss and Georgia have a shootout, and Georgia makes just enough stops to win the game. But throughout that game, like last week, we talked about, hey, what about the 50-50 ball? Like, are we gonna give that a shot? And then we try to give it a shot, which seems like, and it doesn't go our way.
We got to do it to number one. We got to go to number one with that, man. I just truly believe that. I don't know why I just got to say that.
Well, I think 1-0. I also I would
zero.
love
Manning, yeah.
I would love for 87. I would love for Northfleet to get involved with a little more down the field stuff. I mean, he's 6'7", 6'8". You know what I mean? So
6'8",
like once again, it's very easy for me to sit, and this is coming from a guy who calls plays. Yes, at a different level, but like it's very easy to be on the outside looking in and saying, hey, you got to do this, you got to do this, you need to do this, you need to do that. And like, trust me, I get it, man. I get into a game, man, and you've practiced these plays all week, and or you got, certain situations, or you got drive starters, you got all these things on your play call sheet, man. But I do think, like I said, at some time it's just like, man, number 1-0, like same thing I said, hey, it's coming to you. In the game, right? Jacob, right? Hey, if you got one, and I'm sure they have this, but hey, you got 1-on-1 coverage right here. Hey, Cooper, if he has it, he press coverage, throw the ball to him. I don't care what happens after that. Give him a chance, throw the ball to him. So, yeah, man, I don't know, man. You got to go to practice, man. You got to continue to get better. You got to find out like concepts and ideas that Bo's comfortable with, that Kirby's comfortable with, Bo being comfortable with, that the receivers are comfortable with. Like, and you just got to rep the heck out of them, man. Like, honestly.
It's a bit odd because, when we played in the Big 12, we scored. I mean, Maclin out there scoring points, man. We got to go out there. We got to put up or shut up. It's like we go out there and get into a shutout. I mean, not a shutout, a shootout, and we in trouble. We know they're going to keep scoring, but, like, we got to do our part. That's how I used to watch the SEC from the outside. Like, man, they can't score. Man, they can't.
Yeah.
Man, I used to be at the Senior Bowl talking all that. Man, we play that hard-nosed defense, and you got a one-score game. It can happen just that fast, man. You could be in overtime on the road, or you could be going up, from a 3-point lead to a 10-point lead and, closing out the game, man. It's very interesting in this conference.
Hey, to me, in the SEC, you get to that 27-31 range, like you're scoring the ball pretty good.
I agree. Like
well. Andy scored 31 at LSU. You know what I mean? Like, that to me, like that's good, efficient offense, right? You're flowing, you're finding ways to score, you're finding ways to create.
Scores, right? NFL scores. It's a little different.
And maybe you're both right that it's just a little bit tougher to run up the score. And like Spoon mentioned just now, what we were accustomed to when we were there, I mean, 35 is like, duh, we're going to get 35 points. You know what I mean? But can the defense make one or two extra stops, right? Or
all we had to do.
That's all we have to do is make a couple stops a game and you've won that game, right? But that's just a concern for me. So now we look ahead to Andy, where, I mean, there's some quarterback similarities really between Bo, Arnold, and Pavia. I think Pavia
Absolutely.
is probably the best runner of the 3 quarterbacks I just mentioned. But to be honest with you, I'm not really afraid of Vandy, but I can see us ending up in a game very similar to the one we just played Saturday night. That makes
they'll
go ahead, Spoon.
They'll be favored though, Kevin. They'll be
Vandy
favored.
will be favored, but we're playing there. You know what do you do going into somebody's house? They're ranked. They're on a high. Quarterback is trying to make. He's doing the Heisman. He's hitting the Heisman.
Listen, first of all, he needs to chill out with that. First of all, second of all, this is one of those games that wherever it's played at, that's who would be favored in this game. Because I think that on paper, I think we stack up pretty similar. It's how I look at it. I think when you have two teams now, and listen, you can say the same thing about LSU, who just went in there and got beat, right? But when you have two teams that are very similar, right? You gotta hope that your big dogs come out and play, and your big dogs come out and shine. And for us, I think we have the best player on the offense side of the ball, right? I think we have the best player on the defensive side of the ball.
Yes.
And for that reason, which is why I'm comfortable with saying I think Mizzou goes in there, and I think we kind of get a statement win this weekend. I think we go in there and get a statement win. So that's why I'm comfortable saying that. I'm telling you right now, 9 on the defensive side of the ball, right, and 29 on the offensive side of the ball, because we got them two. I think we go in there and win, and when we win the game.
I got a question.
40.
No, go ahead, Spoon. Go ahead, Spoon.
40 as well. 40 as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And,
he's
and
a
I also believe we got to do a great job of getting our guys, 2 road trips. We've been at the crib 6 weeks. We might should have just left them out here. They could have just stayed with like
Here's one for you. Vandy hasn't seen a defense as good as ours yet.
I don't think so either.
And that's including Bama.
I think Bama's O-line just kind of took over the game and leaned on them at the end of the game.
And listen, and you do that, and you force Pavia into obvious passing situations. He's going to struggle.
He gave it
Let me play devil's advocate then, please. Because I if I were your everyday fan, I would. What you two just said, I'd eat it up and I'd go to sleep and be like, yeah, we're gonna come out there and blow Vandy out. Let me be Mr. Negative here. I will challenge you, J Mac, and I love Hardy. When you stack the box, he's only one man. Which is it's gonna happen the rest of the season. I would argue on the offensive side of the ball, the best player between the two teams is Pavia. Because the ball is always in his hand. You can't stop him from touching his hand.
I think Pavia is probably the most important player on the field, maybe.
Yes.
On the offensive side of the ball.
Yes.
He's not the best. And I said best.
I'm sorry. I get it. Yeah.
Yeah. Because here's the deal. I'm telling you right now, John's gonna be the most important player for us on Saturday.
Yeah.
We got to see him go out there and perform, right? So that's on a lot of teams, right? The quarterback's always the most important player. I think that 29, I think that he's going to have one of those games that we've seen earlier in the season. That's just how I feel, right? I
think it's easier to stop 29 than it is to stop Pavia.
Well, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
It's a little bit the dynamics of how a running back can affect the game and how a quarterback can affect the game. I get you 100%.
Yeah, I agree.
I get you there, man.
I'm just letting you know why I'm picking us to win, because I think 29 has one of those games where we were talking about Hardy for Heisman. Like, I think he has one of those type games.
It's a great opportunity, man. And I think a lot of that's going to be predicated on our tackles too, Jeremy. I was just, I saw a lot of whiffing, and I know Auburn got some dudes, man. Both of those linebackers, man, inside, I think they had 20 solo tackles between themselves, multiple sacks between themselves, and the edge, the way they were able to. They gave 79 some trouble, man. Our right tackle had a little trouble, just getting off and starting that zone, because you gotta be able to get out, once you get to that end. And boom, then he's dynamic. But we struggled there, and I think that's something that we'll be working at this week. But Pavia is a dude that can take over the game. We know that. But when we got 29 still made some plays in that game. It just wasn't the way
he still scored.
But the way he got to the paint, the way we, gave it to him and he ran tough, I think it was just one of those games where, like Vanderbilt, a game we went into double overtime with last year at home, I think the urgency, man, the energy about our program it's on the line right now. We need a big one.
I'm going to say something else. Go ahead, Jimmy. Go ahead.
No, I was just about to say, man, you look at, I think the mindset of both of these teams is very similar, right? right? I think
Agreed.
they want to control the football. They want to establish the run. They want to dictate the pace of the game. Right? I think both of these teams want to do that, and they want to play good, solid defense. I just think that collectively our defense is better. I think that collectively, right, offensively we're a little better. But here, I agree with you. The X factor on the other side of the ball, not because he's this crazy talented player. I think it's a lot of the moxie, the swag,
Yeah.
the how he rallies his team behind him.
The position that he
Honestly,
plays. Yeah.
he got a whole university behind him, really, a whole town. Like,
And think about all the kids that
so
have
I
got
do agree
extra
with you.
years. Think about all the kids that have got extra years, because of him.
Because of him.
Fighting these NCAA rulings on transfer and eligibility too. Like they've been playing, they've been looking at like we might not have our quarterback, So for them to have him playing at the level that he's been playing at, I know that it's gonna be tough to go in Nashville and do what we know we can do. But man, I'm really looking forward to seeing 40 chase after Pavia. That's gonna be something to watch there, man. I truly like this kid, man. Like it's kind of tough with NIL. You get guys in and out.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'm a believer in 40 just leading us and getting us in position. And I'm a believer that we have a little bit more than they do. And I think I've seen that so far. It's just about putting that on tape.
I agree with you, Spoon. I think we have a little bit more than they do, specifically on defense. I think actually, you know what? I think across the board, we probably have a little bit more than they do, right? Quick note, I do want to shout out some of the O linemen, even some of the defensive linemen. I saw a lot in this game of guys running to their teammates and kind of telling them, like, dial it back. You about to get a penalty, calm down. And we know, I think, how I felt about Bama on some of the plays that I think may have cost us that game. And I watched, I think number 56's O lineman a couple times run down and like shut it down. That's enough. You did your celebration. And that, I don't know if that's passed down from the coaches down to players, or if this is just coaches just players leading their team. It is appreciated. But let's talk about kind of around the SEC, because I think it was 4 top 10 teams went down, and now Mizzou is ranked 50. We were 16, went down to 15. What are your initial reactions to the current ranking as top 12 and how Mizzou fell in that to 15? What are you thinking, J-Mac? Or Spoon, go ahead, Spoon.
To me, I think it's bullcrap that we're just 15, man. We play in the SEC, best conference in football. I think, I have us as a top 10 team. That's just how I see it. The team that we lost to is probably the best team in the SEC right now. And the way they're surging, I have to look at our effort and say, hey, we can play with anybody.
Good point.
We can play with anybody in the country as long as we're not down. And we have, and even if we're down, if we can run the ball. If we're down and we can't run the ball, we're kind of down by turnovers and things that just kind of happen that are like, man, okay, those some one-offs. I still feel confident in that, but I believe that we're a top 10 team, man. I think that, we just got to continue, keep breaking glass. It's a great opportunity to assure that we can be in that top 10. But I think they're gonna keep watching, and we go on the road a little bit, so we get a chance to show them we're road warriors. And then we got some big stretch, some at home that's going to be real fun to watch. But I think they're kind of selling us a little bit short. They're selling us a little bit short, which is cool. You want to be there, right? It gives you that locker room. Hey, they don't believe us, guys. They don't do it like we do it. You can kind of create that atmosphere that like we're the underdogs and continue to break glass. And I think we're right where we want to be.
J-Mac, what are your initial reaction to where we fell in the ranking? And then who do you think is real right now? You know what I mean? Talk to me.
I think if you look at the full picture, I think we're probably ranked fairly in the AP. I believe that we're a top 10 team. And the only reason why I say that, I think we're the only team in the top 15 that does not have a win over a top 25 team. And I think that's kind of what they're doing, what they're looking at. I'm going to tell you right now, everybody in the Big 12 is like that Spider-Man meme when they all just pointing at each other. Because they all interchangeable. Like, and listen, I know there's a lot.
It's better than most teams in the Big 12.
No? They're all now they did not have their starting quarterback.
Right. And the other team finally got their Arizona State
theirs back. Got theirs back. Yeah.
So but I just think they all like any given day, BYU, Tech, Utah, like Arizona, they can all just beat up on each other. You know what I mean? And not in the way that the SEC does. It's in like the little brother way. All right, y'all the next, y'all down here, y'all go over there and play somewhere. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Y'all sit at that table today. You know what I mean? Y'all eat at that table. You know what I mean? So, but I looking at the top, I'm just gonna go off the top 15, right? Ohio State's for real.
Definitely.
Right? Indiana's for real. Okay. Texas A&M, right? I'm gonna tell you right now, they're for real. But I think it's gonna pick up for them a little bit now. I'm interested to see how they play it on out.
How many they
right?
give up? Like 42 or 43?
Yeah, yeah.
So
There's a lot of
they're
points,
going to
man.
have LSU, who I'm not sure about LSU. They got us, right? And they got
Mm-hmm.
Texas left, which Texas has been struggling on their own, in their own right. We're
And
gonna
them
see
gonna beat the
how they
brakes
fare,
off of Texas.
right?
Go ahead.
That win against Notre Dame is still big, right? Because I think Notre Dame is a really good football team,
Notre
right?
Dame
I
is
think
going to sneak into the college playoff, and I'm saying it today, so I'm not mad when it happens.
Yep.
well,
Notre
we
Dame.
told you that. We
Yeah,
told
Notre
you
you
Dame.
did.
that.
You did. Go ahead, my bad. I
Um,
cut you off.
Nah, you good. I think Bama. In my personal opinion, I think that they might be. Man, they might be. I wanted to rank them too, but Indiana does have a very very good win over Oregon. And
Mm-hmm.
Bama right now has a bad loss to Florida State right now, right?
Yes.
But they have beat Georgia, they have beat Vandy, they have beat Missouri. So like,
Yo, Bama's
like,
look like the best
come
team in
on
the
now.
country.
Talking
Like
about here.
honestly,
I'm
with them 3 wins, and then you still got to play. You
Who does
still got to
Bama have
play.
left?
You still got to play LSU. You still got to play Oklahoma. Like,
Yeah,
and you beat
and
Tennessee.
Auburn, and yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you lose 3 games, you still should be in my opinion. But that's a different story.
see about
Uh,
Yeah, beat
yeah.
them 37-20. Yeah.
Yeah. I would say the only team I'm not sold on probably is Georgia Tech. Not sold on them.
we
Um,
gotta see. We gotta see though.
gotta see.
They've
Yeah.
done their part. We just gotta see.
Yeah, gotta see.
I,
That's why I say I'm not sold.
yeah,
Hmm.
I'm not sold
I
on
put Georgia
BYU.
Tech. I put Georgia Tech at 7. I'm a little sold.
Hey,
No, you put them in there because everybody they've been faced against, they beat them, right? So that's why you put them in there.
Yeah,
That being said, right?
they gotta change a guard there. I still
Like,
think about that Georgia game last year in 3 overtimes.
that was a
That's I'm like,
close game. I think it's a good team, J Mac.
yeah, I'm not saying they're not. I just said I'm
The
not
conference
sold.
isn't. I think the ACC is the weakest conference right now. Am I wrong or right?
ooh,
With
I
Miami
don't know,
taking a
man.
loss,
Me and Louisville might say something different, man. You know what I'm saying? Miami.
Miami's good, but I think it's very
Miami's good.
top heavy.
I mean,
It's top heavy.
Louisville came with that. They got it. I see a top 10 receiver at Louisville just dominate the game against Miami, man. I'm like, ooh,
Yeah,
that's something special.
I guess maybe you're right.
I would say so. I would say ranking wise, I think everybody's right where they should be based off of what has happened. Now, if you ask me, like I said, I think Missouri's better than BYU for sure. I think Missouri's better than Georgia Tech for sure. Missouri is better. I think we'll see this weekend against Vandy, right? We'll see. I think
Mhm.
Missouri's going to get Oklahoma. I think Missouri's going to get Tech, right? The one team that is out there that's got 2 losses, I think is really, really good is Notre Dame. I think that's a really good football team.
Yeah,
So,
dog, don't get me started on that, dog. Not tonight.
yeah,
Come on, J Mac. Don't get me started on that. Dog,
I'm just saying.
you can't lose your 2 games to the 2 opponents who actually present a threat and then go out and run the table and be rewarded. And that's what's happening.
They're top 10 though, and we're talking about a 12-team playoff. Like
But
both of them
they
teams.
I mean, look, you're both right. That's why I want to argue. I can't argue with you, but I want to, because I don't like that the rest of their schedule is a walk in the park. You've already shown what, and I know it's unfair to them to penalize them for losing early to teams that are in tough conferences, but you did it. Schedule differently.
Okay. But here's the deal, right? I think
Yes.
that Miami and Texas A&M got them at the right time because you can look at what they've been doing. Hell, that team that Texas A&M just struggled with. Now we just talked about this. It don't work like this. But that
It
team
doesn't.
that Texas A&M just struggled with, Notre Dame beat them by 40. So like,
And got their coach fired.
so you know what I mean? So it's just that's a good football team, man.
And they just beat a ranked opponent. USC surging a little bit.
But USC hasn't been able to stop anybody since Lincoln Riley got there. They cannot defend.
I get it, but it was a game you had to win. Like they score, you score, boom. When the defense is gonna show up, you got 2 running backs over 100 yards. That's the recipe to get yourself in the college playoff.
So look. The only thing I will give you is that their 2 losses were close losses. They lost by 3 to Miami and they lost by 1 to A&M. Everyone else, they have taken care of business, and it hasn't been close, with the exception in the USC. So yes, maybe they're a good team, but I think they should fall victim to not being in the conference. I'm not changing. I'm sorry, that's on
I
you.
think that's one of those things where like if you're gonna lose, better lose early, and they did. They lost early.
But wouldn't we all want to leave the SEC and get to play 2 teams from the SEC and play them close?
Because it's everything's money driven. I think if you could guarantee that I'm gonna make it to the college football playoffs and I'm gonna get all this extra like yeah, sure. but it's no guarantee. So what do? You go to the money. That's why those guys. That's why everybody want to be in the SEC. Only reason why
It's a
Notre Dame ain't
guarantee
tripping because
for Notre Dame.
they got that dang on. They got that game on. They still got the NBC contract.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why they ain't tripping.
But it's a guarantee. You're right. But if that were so, you think a team like Texas or Alabama wouldn't love to just they got the following to just go and play two good teams early on and run the table with mediocrity?
I mean, Texas still in this too, right?
But
Yeah.
you're right. But Texas has to face other SEC schools all season long.
You're right. I give you
Look. Wait. Notre Dame lost to Miami, beat A&M. We lost to A&M. Then they went and played Purdue. Arkansas, SEC school, but then they went and beat Boise State.
What was the margin of defeat in the two losses, Kevin? 1 point and 3 points?
Yeah.
I think also what needs to be said. Listen, also what needs to be said. It's not like they're going to play UAB, Western Michigan. Like they're
kind of
playing.
are.
UAB
they're
beat
not,
Memphis,
though,
Mac.
man.
UAB
They
beat
kinda
Memphis,
are.
Mac.
I know. I saw that.
Wait.
And they got an undefeated Navy team in 2 weeks.
You gonna get some points there, Kevin. You gonna get
Stop
some
it.
points.
What did Navy do to the University of Missouri a couple years back when y'all played that?
Couple is
Hey, man.
crazy. First off, that was a long time ago. And
That's just his finest.
two people on that team you're talking to, calm down, dog. What are you talking about?
Hey, but this is the thing, man. Patrick Dobbs should have won the Heisman, but he had Tim Tebow numbers, bro.
Come on. First
I
off,
left
Dobbs
that
was
game.
nice.
I had 20 pieces.
Was his first name Dobbs? His first name was Patrick?
Patrick Dobbs, bro.
I don't know.
I know his last name was
Patrick.
Dobbs. I just always called him Dobbs.
I remember,
Yeah.
bro. I know, cause you get hit and you be like, God, dog. Like,
Yeah.
what's that?
Wait, hold on, J Mac. You killing me. Let me go back and find where is Notre Dame, because I'm not done with them yet. Notre Dame. Let me tell you who else they played. So they just beat USC. They played Boise. They played NC State. They're about to play Boston College. Then they play Navy, which you said 6-0, whatever. Then they play Pitt. They play Syracuse. And they play Stanford.
Who just beat Florida State? Who beat?
Florida State has shown they're not real. Florida State is not real. Florida State caught Bama off guard.
No, listen. All I'm saying is that it's not like they're playing Group 5 teams. They are playing Power 4 opponents. That's all I'm saying.
Wouldn't I love to play the last team in each conference of the Power 4?
And the two teams that they play that are quote unquote Group 5 teams are powerhouses in Boise State and Navy. They don't play no FCS schools. They don't play no Division 1. They don't play no Southeast Missouri States.
They don't.
Mac.
Shout out to Red Hawks.
Mac. Are we about to give love to Boise State? We got to give love to Boise State and Navy.
Historically,
they do well
in
in
the
those
playoffs last year.
And what happened first round with the nation's
is,
best tailback?
Didn't they have a bye?
Yeah, they had a bye.
They did have a bye.
Man, that's why they got tricked. They supposed to have a home game in Boise, K-Rod. That's how. See, that's the. they kind of got hosed.
Man, look, all right.
All I'm saying is this. Your points would be valid if they were playing, like I said, Western Michigan, then double back and played UAB, then came over here and played Tulsa. That's not what they're doing, bro. That's not what they're doing.
It feels like it. It feels like it.
Oh man.
And they also gonna send a lot of cats to the league, bro. So I gotta, you know what I'm saying? I just gotta look at them like they really some big dogs, you know? Like they just take chances when they don't really have to.
No, they need to take more.
At the right time, man.
You need to have somebody come in and police this and say you got to take more chances than that. If you want to be considered in January, you got to take more chances.
The reason why
when they played A&M at the beginning of the season, A&M wasn't who they are now.
I mean, they were top
A&M wasn't a top
15
4 team at the beginning of the season.
I mean,
they're a top 15 team.
I hear you. I'm just saying, make them play Bama week 2 every year. Make them play.
I can't do that, right? Bro, they played one of the biggest schools in the world, like brands in the world. And
Make them play Ohio State too. Make them play Ohio State.
Make them. It's crazy. Ohio State don't want that.
What? Hey, calm down.
They don't want an annual renewal game against Notre Dame every year. Ohio State does not want that.
I don't know why not, but I feel you though, Mac.
I'm not even a gambling man. I take Ohio State 10 out of 10 times in that game.
Yes. This Ohio State team, yes.
Last year's too.
Hold on.
Year before that too.
That national championship game was very entertaining.
It was
entertaining. I was never scared.
Tough, man.
I never thought they were going to lose. Look.
It was the
Oh,
two
man.
best defenses playing in the end, and Notre Dame lost a couple guys early in the playoffs that went on Sunday pretty early, man.
I'm just not a fan.
You're not a fan of the brand Notre Dame because you feel like they get special privileges. That's
yes.
But like,
yeah.
yes,
exactly right.
But
hard.
Some Coach Cully taught me way back when. He said, Jay, I'm gonna treat you fair. That don't mean I'm gonna treat you the same. Notre Dame gets treated fairly. Doesn't mean they're gonna treat them the same as somebody else.
Wait. All right. Thank Coach. I appreciate that. Do I want to get in how you define fair? I'm not getting into that with you right now. But
no,
fair is not fair.
Yeah, let me ask you a question. Let's say North Shore, right? You play for a powerhouse down in Texas, right?
Mm-hmm.
Year in and year out, every single year, right? You guys were going to be ranked at the top preseason rank because this is what you all get all bent out of shape about. Preseason rankings, right? North Shore's gonna be at the top every single year. Even if you lose, right, early on, okay, and you start getting, they're still going to show North Shore love down the stretch. It happens, right or wrong.
Not if you lose 2 games early on. Look,
all right, let's get to our Vandy predictions, man. I'm not.
Give me your predictions. Let's start with Spoon. Give me your final score? Mizzou versus Vandy.
Mizzou Vandy. Oh man, let's go. It's time for us to get a 30 ball, man. I know it'll be tough in the SEC, but I like 31-24. The Tigers on the road, man. I think we can hold them less to that, but I think Pavia does have the magic, So I'm gonna go 31-24 Tigers. Cue up Mr. Brightside.
I'm gonna go next. 17-10 Mizzou. This is not. I'm not guessing above until we do it. I'm not guessing above 21 points. 17-10 Mizzou. J Mac, what you got?
You're terrible, man.
You're terrible.
So we've scored over 21 points every game this year, right?
It doesn't feel like it. In overtime, does it count?
It never does feel like it, does it?
No.
I'm going to go.
Give me a score.
I'm going to go. I want a comfortable win, guys. I want a comfortable win. I do. Oh, man. I'm going to go. And we missed a field goal in overtime last week, didn't we?
Bruh.
To win it?
Bruh,
they missed 2.
And we should have had one in regulation, Mike. We should have one in regulation to win the game.
Yeah. Give me a score.
I'm going to go 30. I'm going to go 34-24.
Quick 10 piece.
I love you, J Mac. I love you. Look,
what was the score last year? Let me hunt.
I'm changing. Let me go 27-17. 27-17.
Thank you.
Hunt for that. Man.
Thank you. I just put Hunts. We're gonna close it out.
Mizzou, Vandy, series, football. Let's see. I think we win in the series probably by 10 wins. It's taking slow. Oh my goodness, that's crazy. They say we got a tie on here, but then another one says we won it 13-3 actually. And another one says 12-2-1. We're winning. Last year it went to overtime, and it was 27-24. Was that? Let me see.
Yeah.
I think it was 27-24 double overtime. We won.
After regulation it was 17-17.
Yeah. They got a good team, man. I love them coaches, bro. They do a good job at Vandy. I saw every formation in our game, Mac, last year. I was like, sheesh. Yeah. Once again, man, it's great, to be back with the guys talking about the Tigers. Super excited about this upcoming week. It's going to be a good one for us. It's great to be on TPL and give you guys the scoop. We look forward to the game. Make sure you guys tune in next week. MIZZOU.